This is the Windgoo B20 Pro Folding e-bike, which is a new and improved bigger brother of the B20, which I reviewed a few months back. It comes with improvements and it's a great little commuter or city bike. I've ridden a few of these little e-bikes now and love them or hate them, they are actually pretty damn good. So let's take a look at this one. Now this specific bike was an X-Display model, so it was already assembled, but from past experience with these little e-bikes, the assembly is pretty easy. Normally you just remove all the packaging and install the saddle and tighten it using the seat clamp, and then install the pedals. Now the pedals do have a left and right, so make sure you are using the correct pedal for each side of the bike. The left pedal, the pedal on your left foot, also tightens by turning it anti-clockwise, which is the incorrect way to a normal thread. This is so that the pedal doesn't come loose when you're actually pedaling. An easy way to remember is both pedals tighten by rotating them towards the front of the bike, and loosening them, you rotate them towards the back of the bike. Getting this bike all set up and ready to go takes no more than 15 minutes and you are on the road. Now this new B20 Pro is bigger than the previous version, the B20. It has 16-inch wheels and that does make a difference, and more on that later in the video. The battery is also bigger with a capacity of 7.5 amp hours at 42 volts, and it goes from 0 to 100% charged in 5 hours and 30 minutes. So this larger battery should have a better range than the previous B20 version, which is now a claimed 40 kilometers, which is a big ask. In reality, it's normally a little lower than the claimed amount, plus you never really drain the battery down to rock bottom. Now the battery powers a 250 watt motor, which is at the rear wheel, which is A, legal in the UK, and B, that's plenty power for a small little city bike like this. At full charge, the battery has more oomph, so get it plugged in, peeps, when it's getting low. It's worth mentioning that you can't actually remove this battery from the frame, so when you're charging, you need to have your bike close to the charge socket. Now that we're all assembled and ready to go, let's collapse it down and fold it like a transformer. Now we'll start with the handlebars. Firstly, there is a locking clip that slides into the latch. This is to prevent the bars coming loose, so let's slide that out the way. Then we can undo the latch that keeps the handlebars in place. This will then allow them to fold down towards the front wheel. Because all the cables are routed through the bars, everything is nice and neat. It's not like spaghetti junction down there. The pedals also fold in together. Simply push them inwards to fold them. Do this now so they're out of the way for the next steps. Now the main fold in the center of the frame is a quick release, so simply undo that and rotate it 90 degrees away from the frame. Before you can fold the bike, you need to lift the quick release up. This is a final safety measure that releases a hinge, allowing you to fold the bike. This caught me out on the first Windgoo. I wasn't going to be caught out twice. You'll want to make sure that the stand is also up and doesn't get in the way of the bike as you fold the bike in half. Now finally, you can put the seat down and you have a small folded e-bike. The bike does weigh around 21 kilos, so it's not the lightest thing to move around, but it's not the heaviest either. The controls on the bike's handlebars are relatively simple because they are supplemented with a mobile app. There is a simple on and off switch, which I like. It's precise and feels very definite. We have the accelerator on the right hand grip. Simply twist to give you some power. We also have 3 different levels of assist for the accelerator that can be selected in the app. If you accelerate with the bike stationary, we can see at the assist level 1, that gives us a speed of 9 miles per hour. Level 2 is around 13 miles per hour. And finally, level 3, which is full power and around 15.5 miles per hour, which is a legal limit in the UK and other European countries. In each of these modes, the pedal assist will only help you up to that speed at each level. For me, I normally have it on level 3 because I like pretty much all the power all the time. It's nice that we can also see the battery level in the app, so we know when it needs charging. We also have the battery indicator on the bars, which is a simple 5 light system. Each light represents 20% battery. Finally, we have the light button on the right side under the battery indicator. Hold this button in for a few seconds and the front and rear built-in lights will come on. We can also turn the lights on and off using the Windgoo Smart app with the touch of a button. We'll test the lights in the dark later in the video, but first, let's go for a spin. Now, the first thing you notice on this little Windgoo B20 Pro is the acceleration. It's not bad. Obviously, we're limited to 15.5 miles an hour. But it gets you there pretty quickly, to be honest. So that's what you want. You want it to be nippy off the mark, good around city. You can sort of accelerate away, and then it just maintains that speed of around 15 miles an hour. So from a complete standing start, this is what it's like. It's about 8, 10, 12, and there we go, around 15 miles an hour. So it's
pretty quick. You'll get to 15 mile an hour in about, I don't know, 10 seconds or so.
I've tested and reviewed a few e-bikes now, and there are more in the pipeline, so do subscribe if you want to see those.
Braking is also pretty good. Now if I accelerate to full power and then I just hit the brakes, let's see how quickly we can stop. So we have got mechanical disc brake. Hydraulic would be even better, but considering we're not going super fast, we can only go 15 mile an hour, we don't really need hydraulic brakes, and these brakes are plenty good enough. You can see there we stopped in a couple of meters from full speed basically, so all good there. Obviously when you brake as well, it cuts out the motor, so if I tap the brake, so I'll tap the left brake there, the motor cuts out, so you get a bit of motor braking or engine braking if you like as well. And the same there, so that's a win to have sensors in both of the brakes, and that automatically cuts out the motor. And this little e-bike is surprisingly smooth. Let's go off-road, but I think the bigger wheels, the 16-inch wheels, add to that smoothness. Normally these little bikes have 14-inch wheels, so having bigger wheels helps you roll over these little bumps better. It keeps it a little bit smoother. Obviously the bigger the wheel, the smoother the ride essentially. The tyres are also pretty big and pretty fat, so that gives us more grip when we're sort of on rougher sort of gravel, or let's say off-road like now. I wouldn't normally take it off-road, but it's worth trying it for the video. You can see there over a load of acorns and small bumps, etc. and dirt. Let's see how we go up here in this little hill. So yeah, I am impressed with the smoothness, because I've ridden quite a few of the smaller ones with 14-inch wheels, and the 16-inch wheels are definitely better and definitely smoother. So we're in pedal assist mode here, and it's not bad pedal assist mode, it's just it's not super fast. Now I'm going uphill and it's all right, but if you had to choose, then you pretty much always use the accelerator. That's what I found from my experience using these little e-bikes. So we're on level 3 at the minute, and we can see that it's pulling quite well, to be fair, just pedaling uphill. Now gearing's hard because we've only got a single speed gear. What that means is we can quickly run out of gear. So I'm going to accelerate now, and let's go to full speed. You can see how quickly you have to pedal just to try and keep up with the speed. So the pedal assist is obviously going to be slower because it's going to keep it at a lower speed to make sure you can actually pedal. But the pedal assist isn't bad at all. It works quite well. It's just, if people could choose to go faster, then I'm guessing you probably would, which is what I normally do. It is a comfortable bike as well, I must admit. The seat's really padded. They're designed for comfort and steady riding, you know, and that's exactly what you get with a bike like this. Oh, try not to bang my head. So it's nice and padded. You can get the seat quite high as well. I think that helps having the 16-inch wheels. The bike's raised a bit higher, so that means the seat can go a bit higher, which is exactly what you want. Now I'm 5'9" and I fit on this without issue. I can't fully extend my legs to get the maximum like pedal stroke if you like, so a little bit higher seat might help, but that's a standard thing. The position isn't designed for you to be pedaling away, it's designed for you to be sat comfortable. Now in terms of max speed, like I said, you're going to get around 15.5 mile an hour. You're not going to get anything beyond that, and that is because it is limited to that speed to make it legal in the UK and many EU countries, and that's also a 250 watt motor you need to be legal. So now we're around 15 mile an hour, which is good for city rides. The only time I found it's not enough is if you're on a road and the traffic speed's a bit quicker than that, then you can start to feel like you need to go a bit faster. We also have cruise control. Now you can turn that on and off in the app, and to activate it you simply hold the throttle for around 5 seconds, and what that's going to do, that's going to lock it in at a certain speed. So if I let go now, you can see we're still going, and there we go, we're locked in, and this is the top speed, so around 15 mile an hour now, and it'll just keep pulling. All you have to do is simply pull either brake. So if I tap the brake, that's dropped the speed off, and we're slowing down now. Now one of the biggest benefits of these little e-bikes are they iron out any little hill. So let's give it a little hill test and see how we can do. So here we go, starting the hill. I've got full throttle, I'm in level 3. Let's see how we get on. Do you know what, it's not bad. This would be a hard hill, to be fair. It's probably around 5-6%. Nothing major, but enough nonetheless. Can feel it now, having to put more effort in. The legs are going. But overall, not too bad. Now, don't get me wrong, you're not going to be taking on any mountains anytime soon with a little 250 watt motor, but it definitely does iron things out. So if you've got small little hills or little bumps in the road, should I say, little speed bump hills, then it's going to flatten it out, and that's what it's designed to do, which works pretty damn well.
While we're out on a ride, it's worth noting that the app will track total mileage that you have done. You can also see the distance of your last journey if that's something that you're into or something you want to see. The vehicle info is also in the app, which you can pretend you understand. I'm guessing as long as we have lots of green ticks, then we are all good. The battery info is also in there as well, so you can check up on the battery and see how the old juice box is doing. Now, the Windgoo B20 comes with built-in lights front and rear, which is very helpful indeed. As you can see in the footage, the lights are high quality and can be seen from a good distance. To be honest, not having to charge the bike and two lights separately is actually a massive benefit. The rear light is also a brake light, so as soon as you press the front or the rear brake, the rear light will come on solid red. This works if the light is on or off. You can also turn the lights on or off using the app, which is a nice little addition. Overall, the lights are great and you don't have to worry about them anymore. They're attached to the damn thing. So how far can this Windgoo B20 go on one charge? Well, Windgoo claim that the bike will do 40 kilometers in full power mode. From my experience, if you have the bike in full power mode and use a throttle only, then you're not going to get that range. Not saying you won't if you have it on low assist mode and mainly pedal, but I don't do that. Using the bike for 4 miles on pretty much throttle only, used 25% of the battery. That was up and down some small hills as well. So with that math, you should get around 15 miles on one full charge with a full battery. Thank you very much for watching, fine people. I will see you in the next one.